looking for new heavens and a new earth. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakha. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai to return. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Now, this video is going to be uploaded on my other account, Dark Matter Yashamayim. And the reason why I am uploading my video to this channel is because my other channel has been flagged, for medical misinformation. We are dealing with the devil here. He's not going to tell the truth. He's going to remove your videos because you are speaking the truth. The devil hates the truth. Neither can he be for the truth. He can only be against it. But as you can see all around you, there's just wickedness happening everywhere. Right now, I'm looking out my window and there is snow out there. And what makes it worse is that it's not even real snow. There were some videos that came out, 4 or 5 years ago, of how people was able to burn snow with fire. How can you burn something with fire if it's supposed to be made out of water? Which goes to show you that it's not real snow. They put plastic and rubber and all kind of abominations in the snow. So the earth's weather pattern is all out of whack. Why? Because the wicked is in rulership. And a matter of fact, Proverbs 29 verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But in order to understand who the righteous is, you gotta seek out of the book and read. You gotta read the holy scriptures. The only ones who can be righteous are the nation of people, is the nation of people of whom the law, statutes, and commandments was given to. Just real quick, I would like to get that in the book of Psalm, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word and his statutes unto Jacob. Okay, moving down to verse 20. He showeth his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, where can you find the Lord's judgments at? In the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Holy Scriptures. Okay, a judgment is an action that must be carried out according to a sin or a transgression of the law that happened amongst the nation. So, if a woman committed adultery against her man, her judgment was to be put to death. Okay? If a man committed murder amongst the nation, his judgment was what? To be put to death. If there was 2 fruitcakes amongst the nation, their judgment was what? To be put to death. If a man was caught stealing, his judgment was what? He had to pay that back which he had stolen. If a man knocked the dude's teeth out, what was his judgment? His teeth had to be knocked out. If that servant shall plainly say, I love my master, I will not depart from him, what was his judgment? He had to get his ear bored through with an awl or something like that. If I'm just roughly paraphrasing, if a man laid hold on a woman and had his way with her, and she be a virgin, what was his judgment? His judgment was that he had to pay, what was it? Was it 50 or 60 shekels? He had to pay a certain amount of shekels of silver. Okay, and that woman was to be his wife, and he was not to put her away all the days of his life. So the judgments can be found amongst the law, statutes, and commandments, which was only given to who? The nation of Israel. And the law, statutes, and commandments, as well as the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Holy Scriptures, is how you are made righteous. That's how you become righteous. So the righteous here in Psalm chapter 29, verse 2, is talking about the Israelites, which are the so called Black, Latino, and Native Indian. However, you know, the righteous will be the elect. All right, because like Paul said in the book of Romans, he said, if an Israelite man be found to be faithful in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, his faith is counted for righteousness. However, our righteousness are as filthy rags, as it is written, because we're not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments to 100%. Okay, just the clothes we're wearing alone is a sin, because the scriptures say that you're not supposed to wear mixed fabrics. That's why we are rehearsing the righteous acts. We're keeping the laws and the statutes and the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to the best of our ability. Okay? Because according to the law, if we see two men together, they're supposed to be removed from the planet, in which you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't want this video to be. I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? That their spirit's supposed to leave the planet, because that's a sin. An adulterer and a adulteress, their spirit, they're supposed to be put to death. In other words, okay, so our righteousness are counted as filthy rags. But when we get those new bodies, we're going to be able to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Now, I'm not saying I'm of the elect. I'm talking to the elect out there, whosoever they may be. You see? Okay, so, the kingdom of heaven, it starts with, the Lord's elect going out there in the highways and hedges and waking up other members of the elect. Right? Because as it is written in the book of Luke, right, the kingdom of heaven is within the Israelite man. That's where the kingdom of heaven is at. It's within the Israelite man. But when Yahushua come back, that's when his elect men are going to be delivered. They're going to receive their salvation. They're going to be crowned. And they're going to, Yahushua and his elect men, they're going to come down here and do damage. They're going to do work. They're going to take these wicked beings out of rulership, out of power. They're going to slap chains on them, whoop their ass, and then put them out there in the field to get busy on building up the kingdom. Okay, and as members of the elect, the Lord's elect men are going to be giving each slave their task. So we're going to have, Slakia, not the Lord's elect, they're going to have slaves to go out and collect all the trash and the debris they put in the oceans. And say hello to the sharks for me too while you're doing it. I mean, again, I'm not saying I'm of the elect, but I'm speaking to the Lord's elect out there, whosoever they may be. And then there's going to be another set of slaves that's going to go around on the actual earth cleaning up the dead bodies and burying them. Because the earth profits from dead bodies being buried. But these devils, they put the dead bodies inside of coffins and then put the coffins in the ground. That's going off. Okay, a dead body is supposed to be buried inside of the earth to help replenish the earth. But they're putting coffins inside the earth. You're not supposed to do that. But again, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Who's the wicked? Well, let's go figure out who it is. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Who painted the dark images of the apostles and who the world calls Jesus Christ, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and his disciples and the prophets of old? Who painted those men to look like pale-skinned cave monsters, pale-skinned cave beasts? The so-called white man did during the Renaissance period. And matter of fact, during the Renaissance period, a man by the name of Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, who were highly skilled painters, were hired to paint over all of the dark images of the apostles and who the world calls Jesus and his disciples and the ancient prophets of past time. And a matter of fact, you can find that in the book of Maccabees, First Maccabees, the 3rd chapter, whereof the heathen have sought to paint the likeness of their images. Nothing new under the sun. Straight up reincarnation. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. So the so-called white man, starting with the so-called elites, they're the ones ruling the earth today. And if not, where and who is he? Okay? If you don't know by now that the so-called white man is the wicked, the devil, the biblical Edomites, and the true descendants of Esau, then you're a lost soul. And you might be a lost cause. So when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And that's why when you go into the news, what do you see? You see a food shortage in the country of Chad. You see a food shortage in the country of Bermuda. You see a food shortage in the country of Somalia. You see a food shortage in the land of Nigeria. You see a food shortage in the land of Liberia. You see a food shortage in Venezuela. You see a food shortage in Brazil. You see a food shortage in Afghanistan, a food shortage in Arabia, a food shortage in other parts of the Middle East. You see chaos, riots, civil unrest, in so many different countries, you almost can't count. Uproars and riots in Europe, in Syria, in Iran. Even America is entering into a state of civil unrest around this entire country. Yeah, it might be small here or there, but what do the scriptures say? A little leavening leaveneth the whole lump. A small civil war could turn into a large one. Just like how a small bonfire in a small fireplace or amongst a small campfire can turn into a big one. Fire spreads, and so can civil wars and civil unrest. And then on top of that, you got the chemtrails, you got GMO foods. Everything you see around you emits some kind of fumes, maybe for the exception of wood. If you have a laptop or a computer, it emits harmful levels of radiation that can fry your brain. We're dealing with this 5G technology. We got to deal with the U.S. government using HARP to manipulate the weather. You speak the truth on YouTube and they take your video down and call you a liar. Am I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Like Paul said, there's just false prophets everywhere. And, like, and this is why we are longing for the kingdom of heaven. This is why we are deeply desiring the kingdom of heaven. And it's the spirit that I got this because I was really looking for 1 Peter 3, verse 13. But before the kingdom of heaven can be established, as Apostle Gabar said, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, in one of his was it GMS mailbox? He said, desire the nuclear destruction, which is going to happen during World War III when this nuclear war breaks out between these superpowers. Because the nuclear missiles is going to cleanse everything, except for the oceans, of course, because there's still going to be metals and plastic trash and high levels of radiation in the oceans, which is one of the main reasons why these different sea marine lives are beaching themselves. So again, the elect is going to have slaves that's going to send these bastards out there to go clean the trash out of the oceans. And then smack them on the back of the head and tell their ass to go do something else. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord, the day of Yahushai, will come as a thief in the night. A thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So everything you see around you is going to melt. It's going to return back to the liquid elements that it once was. Okay? And that's going to happen from nuclear fire. And anybody who is not a member of the elect is going to be caught up in the nuclear destruction. Going to verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Is this the time to be telling your congregation to take the V? Knowing that it kills people? There's proof all over the internet. There's proof all over the internet that these injections, which they're proposing to the public, kill people. But you got these false prophets and these leaders of these different false Israelite groups telling their people it is okay to take the chip and vaccine when it's not okay. So those guys completely sold out. They're a bunch of muted dogs. And hey, man, like the brothers have been saying, hey, you can see these people repenting, man. They're fully juiced into the world. Verse 12. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, wherein the heavens being on fire. Because it speaks about the lake of fire in the book of Revelation. Okay, and death and hell was cast into the lake of fire, which is going to be the second death. And hell is just a condition, you know. When you're suffering, that's when you're going through hell. When you're out, when you're going through comfort and your life is easy, that's when you're in heaven. So people's going to be suffering in that nuclear fire, and it's not going to be a quick death. Okay, the Lord has the power to take your spirit out of your body whenever you feel like it, and He also has the power to make your spirit feel pain. That is why Yahushua said, "Fear not him that can kill the body, but after cannot do anything to the soul, to the spirit. But fear him, Yahweh, that can kill both body and soul in hell. The Most High can make your spirit feel pain, which means even after your physical temple disappear, He can leave your spirit in that nuclear fire and leave you there to suffer. And that is why it is important to fear Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. But you got these false Israelite groups telling our people to take these damn injections when there's nothing good about them. Dang, Salakia. You see, man, but when you see these different false Israelite groups, man, and the leaders of these different false Israelite groups, you get angry. You get angry sometimes because they know what they're doing. They act like they don't know, but they act like they don't know what they're doing, but they know what the F they're doing, man. And it's irksome sitting here taking an advantage of them zombies like that. Just for money. And you niggas love to hear smooth. You niggas love to hear smooth shit, man. Well, guess what? Well, what you get is what you receive. You get destruction, you will receive it. Yahushua said, "He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his body shall flow rivers of living water." Proverbs 28, verse 26. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. How do you walk wisely? According to what you believe is right? Nah, that he that believeth in his heart is a fool. You walk wisely according to how Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai have said to walk wisely. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Guess what? The wind is made up of elements. So you people who have these underground bunkers, you're not going to make it. You can't breathe without air. And that nuclear fire is going to take the air away. Second Peter 3, verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, whose promise? The promise of Yahweh, which he made to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's where the chosen seed line, that's where the promises went to. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Because in the kingdom of heaven, we're not going to have to get up and go to work. We're not going to have to work no more. We're not going to have to worry about losing a job and being homeless. We're not going to have to worry about breathing in this toxic air, this air that's constantly being polluted by vehicles driving up and down the street, people racing in front of other people just to go serve the so-called white man as if he's some kind of god. There's not going to be any more of that in the kingdom. No more of this fake food. The fruits in the kingdom of heaven are going to be tasty. They're going to yield its force again. Fruits are going to go back to being tangy and bitter and sweet and delicious and juicy. I bought a fucking pack of lemons from my nearby grocery store, I believe like 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks and a half, or maybe even 3 weeks ago. And those lemons were dry as hell. Literally, no juice, nothing in them. Well, no, I believe I bought 3 lemons, but they all were dry. Dry lemons, no juice, nothing, lifeless. Back in the ancient world, it took 2 men to carry a cluster of grapes. You know, a grape is nearly the size of a dime nowadays. When I was young, lemons used to be bigger. Lemons used to be almost the size of baseballs. Now lemons are half that size. No more looking at this artificial planet. Really, this planet is becoming artificial. You got them gooks over there in China. They got a artificial island. America has become a artificial country. The world, this planet was created to be natural. They got foods now that are not naturally grown. They are synthetically grown in a lab. Not even oranges are as sweet as they used to be. Then you look up at the sky, they're constantly spraying chemtrails. There's no telling what they're spraying in the air now. But it's much more than what I'm saying, which will be mercury, al- aluminum, barium, arsenic, estrogen, which estrogen is a testosterone killer, you know? And a man is supposed to have testosterone. So it shouldn't be no marvel as to why Jake is so emotional, man. The chemtrails they spray in the air and the estrogen they put in the chicken. Because they know Jake loved chicken. You know, in the kingdom of heaven, there be no more cosmic shrimp and water. No more cosmic shrimp and water. The water won't taste like chlorine. No more lead. No more perfluorooctanic acid. No more BPA, bisphenol, and plastic. No more having to go to grocery stores and buy your food, your meat that's sitting in styrofoam with plastic wrapped around it. No, I said First Corinthians. Salak, hold on. Why did you give me Second Corinthians 2 verse 9? Maybe I was not paying attention, Slakia. All right, man. So I'm just gonna have to do this. Satan is playing around. Man. Satan messing around. All right, First Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, have prepared for them that love him. So we just gotta hang in there, brothers, man. Things can get tough sometimes, But at the end, the elect is going to get their just reward, man. When Yahushua come back, that is the start, the beginning of our eternal joy, our eternal happiness, our eternal excitement, our eternal pleasure. Just in, you can't even imagine what's going to be going through your mind when you see Yahushua crack them skies with the sound of a trumpet. Just that alone is going to make you glad to see Yahushua. You might even cry right there and apologize for all the sins you committed. I mean, even though you did repent, you came into the truth, you endured unto the end. Even then, you might even still apologize, having did everything you could to stand. Oh my God, man, just getting beamed up on a chariot and sitting down on a seat, knowing you made it, knowing you're not going to have to work anymore, knowing that you're not going to have to worry about a car breaking down, no more lemons, like the brother Manat said, no more lemons, man. I'm talking about spiritual lemons, okay? Like that car you got. No more lemons because we're gonna have lemons in the kingdom, and I'm talking about the fruit. Because Jake is, we're not gonna be catching hell no more in the kingdom. The Lord is gonna make us perfect. We're gonna be kings for all eternity, priests for all eternity. We're gonna be able to see Yahushua and Yahweh. We're gonna be able to go to different planets. You can't even. Yeah, we can think about the kingdom of heaven. We know it's going to be built up with gold and precious metals and precious gemstones. But have you ever thought that the kingdom of heaven is also going to be built up with precious metals and precious gemstones from other planets? From that is being brought from other planets to this planet? Could you imagine what the gemstones and precious metals are like from other planets? I'm just no more winter times. Think about that, man. It's cold as hell outside. My room is a damn ice box in the winter. I gotta wear sweatpants, a sweatshirt, a shirt, and some socks inside my own room. It's always gonna be warm and beautiful outside in the kingdom of heaven. No more looking at a depressing, light, faded blue color of the sky during the morning time, during the daytime, during the afternoon. The sky is going to go back to being a very dark blue, vibrant, beautiful color. The clouds are going to be bright and puffy, and you know, man, Yahweh, Bashum, Yahweh Shai is going to bless us, brothers. And this is what we're looking for. This kingdom is dark. It looks depressing. How could you want to stay in this kingdom? You false Israelite groups, you don't know what you're asking. You don't know what you're asking for, man. Man. And the scriptures say, he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. The book of John, chapter 14, verse 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in Yahweh, believe also in Yahushai. Okay? In my Father's house. Who is Yahushai's father? The heavenly Father himself, Yahweh, the almighty and most powerful being of all galaxies and universes. His name is Yahweh, and Yahushai is his firstborn. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. What are the many mansions? Those planets. Okay, those many mansions are the different planets out there waiting for Israelites to dwell in. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Okay? You got these devils. They send their little space trash out there to travel amongst the Father's mansion, and they're discovering all these different planets. They're discovering all these different planets. You know, there's planets out there like Earth that is the size of Jupiter. There's planets out there like Earth that are twice the size of Jupiter. Think about that. Because there's going to be so much sex going on in the kingdom. Whoo, Jake is going to be getting busy. We're going to be more. Hey, the Lord said that Israel shall be as the stars of heaven. Think about that, man. So, hey, Israelite women is going to be getting they butt popped in the kingdom. And don't get it confused because I'm not talking about sodomy. I'm talking about they're going to be getting their ass tapped. And it's gonna be Israelite babies popping out left and right. So there's planets out there twice the size. Earth, there's Earth-like planets out there twice the size of Jupiter. Man, you got Earth-sized planets out there smaller than the Earth itself. Earth-sized planets that are about the size of the moon. There's planets. I mean, there's Earth-like planets out there that are the size of the moon. There's Earth-like planets out there. Just just you know, anything your heart can wish. If you want a planet what the so-called white man would call a placebo, which will be a planet that travels throughout the universe, you can have a planet like that. Think about that. A planet that travels throughout the universe. Your night sky is never the same because your planet is always somewhere else in the universe. Think about that. Anything you can think of, man. If it's in righteousness, you can have it. This is what we're looking for, man. The kingdom of heaven. Our kingdom. F this kingdom. This kingdom is going to be destroyed. We're looking for the kingdom of heaven. Everything on this kingdom can be counted as dung. Okay, let me read this. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again. When is Yahushua going to come again? In our generation. He's coming back in these last days. It could very well be this year or next year. Lord's will, Bubba Kushal, please send Yahushua back soon. But we know Yahushua's return is near. And receive you unto myself, meaning the Lord's elect is going to be getting beamed up on chariots. And a matter of fact, let me get that real quick in the book of First Thessalonians. Excuse me a moment. And I'll just type in the fourth chapter. This is what we should be looking for. We shouldn't be looking for if stars move in the sky or not. And we're looking for the kingdom of heaven. Okay? It says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up to 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, the chariots. Okay? The clouds are the chariots. Matter of fact, I can prove that real quick, okay? This is the book of Psalm, chapter 104, verse 4. No, it don't matter. The book of Psalm, I'll just start at verse 3. Who laid the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind? You know? And the answer is simple, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So now let's go back to the book of John, chapter 14, verse 4. Okay? And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know. So, hey, man, the kingdom of heaven is going to be all fun for us, man. Jake loved the party. You know, Jake loved eating, drinking, partying, making merry with wine, making noise, yelling, rejoicing. No music playing in the background. Hey, if you're an Israelite, every day is going to be like a party, except for the high holy days and the Sabbath. Well, except for certain high holy days and the Sabbath. And the beautiful part is that there's going to be a holiday, a high holy day. F that word holiday. High holy. I'm gonna use that. There's going to be a high holy day in the kingdom of heaven, which will commemorate the day that the Lord's elect was delivered from their captivity, liberated from this slavery, this captivity, this misery. This kingdom is misery. It's bitter. How the hell could you want to stay here? Oh, look, I just realized it. The Wada Yahweh, the Wada Yahweh shot 144. Hey, that's the spirit, man. I just realized it, man. The Lord had me look at it, and then I just realized it. 144. That's who the Lord is coming back to deliver, man. The elect, in which the 144,000 is a part of the 1/3. So this is going to be a high holy day to commemorate the day that the Lord's elect was delivered out of the kingdom of heaven. That is going to be the most exciting day of our lives, seeing Yahushua come back. Oh my God, man. The day of liberation, the day of freedom. Oh my God. And do you know how fun it's going to be to have spiritual power? Being able to fly, teleport, shoot fire, manipulate the elements. Do you know how fun that's going to be? I was watching that movie, The Matrix Reload, man, and I know he was having fun, man. This dude was just flying all over the cities and shit. He was flying around, beating the hell out of those agents. You know, you look at the Axemen and you be sighing sometimes like, damn, man, I wish I could do that. But guess what? You are going to be able to do that if you're of the elect, starting with the elect. Because 2/3, they're not going to get their spiritual power on this side. They're going to get their spiritual power when they come back through the loins of the elect in the kingdom of heaven. But the Lord's elect is going to get spiritual power on this side. You know, but when Yahushua come back, that is going to be an extremely exciting time. So, Lord's will, this video was exhorting and uplifting to the spirits of you brothers and edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. With that is on to the next one. Shalom.